Are US economic expectations changing market dynamics? Welcome to Market Insights. I'm Katie Pilby. Earnings reports reveal a mixed economic picture, with some companies bracing for a recession that hasn't arrived yet. Well, this is according to our guest today, Shana Sissel, Chief Executive Officer of Banríon Capital Management. A warm welcome. So in your notes, you said this misalignment between business expectations and economic reality has influenced market dynamics. Can you maybe elaborate for us on this?
Well, I think when you look at business expectations, so we're going to talk on the corporate level, companies have been preparing fiscally for a potential softening of the economy, a recession. And so over the last 2 years, roughly, they've been bolstering their balance sheets, making good capital allocation decisions, and thus the recession has never come. As a matter of fact, the economy in the US has been quite strong. So earnings have been far better than projected because companies have simply prepared themselves financially for weakness that they haven't experienced. And so as long as that continues to be the case, I think we'll continue to see some strong earnings returns from US corporations.
And do you think tomorrow's GDP reading will play into your expectations on Fed policy?
Yes, we've seen GDP be adjusted upwards the last couple of quarters, and we've had stronger than expected GDP, which has been surprising to some extent, given how high interest rates are and the expectations that the Fed would cut. But there hasn't been any economic softness, and strong GDP growth is only going to give the Fed more of a reason to hold tight. The bigger concern, the bigger risk here is that it comes in even stronger than expected. And then we have a different scenario on our hands where the Fed might actually have to consider hiking again, which I don't think anybody is expecting. But it's something that, is actually a probability, not a high probability, but one that we shouldn't consider zero.
And you recently recommended Bitwise BITB. Why crypto?
So crypto in general has some tailwinds related to it. Bitcoin in particular, with the launch of and the approval of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, has seen massive inflows. And I think a lot of people don't understand the market dynamics of Bitcoin. Matt Hogan, who is the CIO of Bitwise, talks about this a lot. But the vast majority of folks who hold Bitcoin are long-term holders who have no desire to sell. So the actual amount of Bitcoin that trades is quite small. In fact, the ETFs are trading anywhere between 2 and 5 to 10 times the amount of Bitcoin that's available, which means the price has to go up. And there's going to become a point where, and it's probably around $100,000, where even those long-term holders will start to think about selling because it's just too great of a number, just behaviorally speaking. And so I think these tailwinds continue because, ETFs have to be approved on platforms. And so they're not approved everywhere. So the people who can actually access it is not all of the people who might want it. So all of these things are a tailwind to Bitcoin in particular. And now there's more and more rumors that there will be a spot ETH ETF approved, which again is a tailwind to ETH. And so those things are positive for crypto, not to mention that the halving occurred, which shrinks the supply of Bitcoin even more. So if there was 2 times as much demand for Bitcoin as was available because of the spot ETFs prior, now it's 4 times as much. So, these things just push prices higher. And those technical dynamics are why I'm bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, ETH in general.
And how do you think a higher for longer interest rate path will affect crypto assets?
I'm not sure it does. Just the nature of the reason we see this price movement in Bitcoin and ETH right now has more to do with demand because of accessibility and not necessarily having anything to do with the economic environment. Now, it is a risk asset, so the risk to the price of Bitcoin has more to do with economic softening, and higher for longer would suggest that the economy is doing just fine, growth is going well, and that's actually positive for a risk asset like crypto.
Shana Sissel, thank you so very much indeed, the CEO of Banríon Capital Management. And this was your US Market Insight. Thank you so very much indeed for watching. More videos, of course, on Reuters.com.